In this first issue of Hursley Park, we'll be looking at new faces on the executive management team, new designs to strengthen Hursley's image, product news, the effects of the world economy on our industry and upon us, site news, the Hursley social scene, and our wider involvement in the community. All this in just a moment. But first, a few words from Jack Hockley.
Welcome to the first of a new series. Some of you will be viewing this at home, and I extend a special welcome to you and your family. This is the next link in the communications chain that began with the Progress 85 meeting in Bournemouth. It was followed by the Progress 85 video, which I hope you've all seen by now. You may remember my emphasising the need for communications in Hursley, and this was backed up by your comments in the opinion survey. So let's start with news of executive changes.
Colin Butterworth from Havant is now Executive Manager for Storage Products, taking over from Howard Crouch, who became Manager of Laboratory Operations following Dave Reed's departure north. Personnel Manager John Hill also left the team, and his successor is Norman Ashton from IBM UK, where Norman was Job Evaluation and Personnel Planning Manager. Another change moved Tony Burbridge to lead the new Technical and Management Development Department, which includes the Laboratory Quality Programme. Tony was Manager of Communications Programming Products, and to that post we welcome Jeff Robinson, previously Manager of the UK Scientific Centre in Winchester. Finally, we welcome John Pugmire. Although not present at this meeting, he returns shortly from White Plains to replace Don Nelson as Strategy and Business Planning Manager.
And now from new faces to a complete new look. With the new design concept, I asked Mike Lipscomb, our Communications Manager, to develop. It pulls together a single, strong Hursley image. But I'll let him explain a little more about it.
Thank you, Jack. Apart from the Progress 85 events mentioned, there are a number of items you'll be seeing in the new form over the next few weeks, all under the umbrella of our new design concept. You might be wondering why we need one, but a quick look will show you that we appear to others more like 20 different entities rather than the strong, streamlined team we want people to see. But how we see ourselves is important too, so we'll also benefit internally from the new image. There's a new format for developments, for example, and more readable bulletins on new attention-getting notice boards. Our literature is being redesigned too, and future material will follow in the same vein. You can see at a glance the point I'm anxious to make. This material is coherent, and that isn't. And that proliferation of designs, styles and ideas weakens our image, while consistency strengthens it, both inside and outside the company.
At Progress 85, the start of the communications plan, the product report was admirably given by Judith Hann of Tomorrow's World.
KICS Hursley Driven has become IBM's most successful program product.
KICS is a transaction processing subsystem, and its latest release, 1.7, was announced worldwide on July 23rd. Within days, it earned praise from the computer press and enthusiastic customers at share and guide meetings.
Large volume and a wide variety of data. For example, when any of us go along to a cash point and ask about the state of our balance and then expect a reply within seconds.
In June this year, we announced follow-on products to Aragon and Genoa. These are advanced versions of the personal computer-based graphics workstations, the IBM 3270 PC-AT-G and GX. Hursley also developed this color monitor featuring many packaging innovations for the worldwide announcement of the 3179G color graphics display. Also announced were the second version of the Composition Utility Program and 3 new releases of the graphic software that supports Aragon and Genoa, GCP. We're still making good progress with storage products, aided by our strong manufacturing link with Havant, where product engineering for storage devices will soon be based. Gulliver disk drives are now single-sourced from Havant for worldwide use. And by the end of this year, 1/3 of a million compact Piccolo disk files will have been shipped. Another Hursley-developed storage product will soon be manufactured at Havant using an advanced automated line designed with the help of Hursley's manufacturing automation groups. The line is housed in one of the largest clean rooms in Europe. This represents a significant investment by IBM UK and demonstrates a continuing commitment to disk file design and manufacturing in the United Kingdom. Although the electrochromic product is no longer in plan, we now see a much broader technology base for future products, and work continues to exploit this opportunity. And from that brief product roundup, back to Jack Hockley.
From news on the product front, let's turn to news that affects all fronts, the economic scene. You can hardly have missed the headlines, particularly in the industry press, about the slowdown in demand and its impact on our business. And indeed, this is now one of the biggest challenges facing IBM today. Many of the reasons are beyond IBM's control, such as the strength of the US dollar and a worldwide downturn in capital investment, which has had a significant effect on corporate revenues, despite the fact that some IBM countries, especially IBM UK, have continued to turn in outstanding performances. My intention here is not that we join together in unrelieved gloom, but instead that we all appreciate these pressures on our business and their effects. As you know, we have been looking at ways of reducing our operating expense, ranging from controls on discretionary costs to reductions in certain kinds of capital expenditure. By implementing these measures, IBM is able to avoid the kind of draconian actions seen in other sectors of the industry. Overall, I think you'll agree it's a small price to pay for stability. In the past, IBM has been through similar periods and actually emerged stronger and fitter.
Serious words, but an important message for all of us. On a lighter note, June the 15th, Family Open Day, was preceded by a Laboratories Club week, which included a fun run, music to please, steam to move, and much else to entertain over 4,000 employees and guests who attended. A busy year for the club with many other events and the opening in March of the clubhouse extension. Along with the new facilities, Hursley gained some excellent landscaping and a new car park, for which we can credit laboratory administration, who feature in our next item, the site report. This year, we've seen the continuation of building at Hursley. Despite the new buildings, space is still a problem, and our search for accommodation is taking us further afield. To Basingstoke, where in February we identified additional space, which in April we confirmed would be occupied by workstation development during 1986. Meanwhile, in Winchester, Sheridan House offered 17,000 square feet of new office space to academic programs and patents. Patents had vacated Aquitaine House, which is being extensively refurbished, together with Athelston House. Both buildings will house the expanding UK Scientific Centre. At Hursley, A Block was refurbished and now accommodates our 3084 system. And a new 3,000 square foot test building, F Block, has been handed over to Environmental Services, one of the technical cost centres that provide the essential support without which the development groups could not operate. Other news from laboratory operations includes a relocation of cashier services from finance to the National Westminster Bank in B Block. In design and release, card and chip layout consolidated with circuit design in machine technology. Today's 700 profs users on WinVMD will increase by the year end to 1,000. D Block extension progresses and will be called D East Wing. Around it, many trees have been planted and other landscaping carried out. Similar work has enhanced the new South Road, which has been in use for nearly a year, benefiting not only the employees who use it every day, but also our neighbours in the village, who've seen a welcome reduction in traffic at peak times. And while we're considering the village, this is a good time to remind you to take care when driving, particularly past Hursley School. IBM greatly respects the community. The UK company rates third nationally in supporting artistic and cultural events, while Hursley's community support ranges from sponsorship of major cultural events, like the St. Matthew Passion at Winchester Cathedral, sponsored by IBM and hosted by Jack Hockley, to local charity donations, this year over £20,000. This was mainly in small sums to many deserving local groups: social welfare, youth opportunities, medical, cultural, and civic. This kind of external program is just one example of a wider concern for the world outside, and is part of IBM's continuing program of support for community concerns and activities.